Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to watch. I got an update for you guys on this possible severe weather outbreak here in the southeast. We've got another 2 rounds of severe weather that are going to be impacting very closely together. So it's going to be one quick round today, and then tomorrow it's going to be the next one. So we have a very high threat for severe weather, and we're going to dive into this update. So we'll get into it. And as you can see, we're looking at the FV3 high resolution model, and we're just going to be kind of looking at what we're going to be dealing with here today into tomorrow. So 3 p.m. today. Right now, it's actually after 4:20. We've been having some storms just starting to fire up here as your low pressure is starting to form. But you gotta watch here. Look how closely together these storms are packed with this low pressure. They really want to hug that low pressure, and when you see that, that tells you that you're gonna have stronger storms here. Look, even on the FV3, you're getting a bit of dark shade of purple. I mean, that's crazy when you see that on an FV3. I mean, and this is not necessarily a radar type, it's also kind of a model run type, but it's mainly a radar type. But still, you are getting that uh, tiny shade of purple here, which would indicate hail. You could also see that. Look at the curve on these supercells here. I mean, it's going to be pretty scattered, and this is just for today. So by 6 p.m., you're going to have damaging storms that are going to be trying to move out of eastern Arkansas. So I would say eastern Arkansas, southwestern Tennessee, and northwestern Mississippi is where you're going to see the biggest hail threat. I think soon that you're going to see the damaging wind threat persist southeast. But I really think that the hail threat is mainly going to be here for you guys along the border of these three states of Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi. So let me get back here. And so again, this is 6 p.m. That's your time frame for that hail. But then watch how quickly this thing just grows, and that's when you have that tornado threat. Nowhere near a frontal line here, so that damaging wind threat is still not there yet. But then finally, you do see around 10 p.m. I mean, these supercells are still ravaging out here, and it's still going to be very active with those tornadoes still around 10, maybe even 11 p.m. But you are getting this little line action here. So you have this little bump here in this line. It's almost a consistently straight line, and it's interesting to see here this curve here. So this is where you're going to see. This is a sign for um, the largest tornado threat. It's not only going to be in Arkansas, but you're also going to have that cold air just pushing down here into parts of Tennessee. But then you're going to have Gulf moisture, coming in here with this system. So it's all going to be fueling this little tight area here. This is north of like Alabama, and then on the southern border of Tennessee. So it's really going to be interesting to see if we're going to have a little bit slightly higher tornado threat here in south central Tennessee. Also, according to the National Weather Service. But you could see you're still getting this same exact shape here around 11, and then you see some breaking with these, and that tornado risk goes a little farther south. But I think that the wind threat is going to be after midnight, according to this. I would say it's definitely going to be after midnight. Because this round is actually pretty much done here. It's over with here around 1 a.m. So, the very early morning hours of tomorrow, these will move through the Carolinas. Maybe hear a rumble of thunder. I wouldn't say severe storms. I mean, at most, it's gonna be like maybe a few possibly intense thunderstorms, but that is it. And I would be kind of surprised if we saw any intense to severe storms across the deep southeast. But That'll move offshore. So then this is 9 a.m. tomorrow. So you're waking up tomorrow. You're getting greeted with some thunderstorms that have been trying to get going across central Arkansas and parts of northeastern Alabama. But watch as these quickly form here. You got a supercell the FV3 really wants this supercell right here specifically to really get a lot of hook action on this. So I'm gonna tell you, right at the like pinpointed time at noon. This is at noon on the eastern half of Arkansas. Watch out for that tornado threat. It's the FV3 wants is tracking one storm system here, meaning this one supercell. It wants it to move southeast very fast, but look how much curve it has on this. This is tight rotation here. It wants this rotation to continue moving with the system. And we're going to continue watching this system right here. So pay attention. It's in this circled area. But you see that this rotation, you can see that it's rotating because this is just 2 hours after that one time frame of tight rotation. It's the curviness is still there, but it's completely on the east side of the system. So now it's not on the west side. It's actually rotated all the way to the east side of the system. So it's very interesting to see, but that is a sign of an elevated tornado threat and long track, possibly even damaging tornadoes. But that's going to be the beginning stages of your storm, because here you go, you're getting storms now raging here for southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas. It's going to be all of Arkansas. It's going to be most, if not all, of Louisiana. But you can see that I would say, the biggest chance for storms, damaging storms, is going to be like 8, 9, 10 p.m. So it's going to be apparently it's going to be an overnight system here. I think mainly in the evening, tomorrow evening, you're still going to have. It doesn't mean that tomorrow evening you're not going to have any storms. You're definitely going to have some storms. You're definitely going to have severe storms tomorrow evening. But tomorrow night is that big risk. I mean, look how large these systems got. I mean, you'll have a few areas of maybe some damaging storms. Usually, when these type of possible severe weather outbreaks happen in the southeast, but this is massive, and you can see it's a lot of rainfall. Then on the backside of this, when this whole big bunch of storms and precipitation, it all like wraps around this low pressure system. This all rotates, kind of like a hurricane would, but except it's a low pressure system. So that low pressure is actually going to move through Arkansas not only by probably like 5 a.m. and it's still going to be struggling to bounce through central Arkansas. But that tells you that on the backside of this low pressure system, look at this curve here in this supercell storm here. That is going to be moving directly through. That's going to be cutting through central Arkansas around 6 to 7, maybe even 8 in the morning. But that's finally going to move out. And then you do get a slight frontal line here. That would probably be probably here. So if you're looking for that a little bit higher secondary damage and wind threat, that's going to be when these storms try and move through the border of, Georgia and South Carolina. And then obviously North Carolina as well, because this frontal line does actually expand in a very large area. But that's pretty much it for this FV3. This is a Storm Prediction Center. You've got you've got a moderate risk up already for tomorrow. Let me skip back to today. So today here you've got a enhanced risk. I mean, this is big. I mean, I know you got a sneak peek already of that moderate risk that's in effect for tomorrow. But I mean, the fact that you have an enhanced risk today, I mean, we would consider an enhanced risk for just one day a possible severe weather outbreak, but you have back to back enhanced, and the second day of that has a moderate risk. This is like that's what's concerning. That is what I'm very concerned about, and what I think that's just what's telling me that, these storms are going to be definitely producing damaging winds. So you can see that you have a little bit of a tighter slight risk here that goes out for Huntsville, Alabama, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I think I'm saying that right, but Murfreesboro. I think that's it. Jackson, Tennessee, and Jonesboro, Arkansas. So, any of those areas. I mean, this is a population of just over 4 million people. I mean, that's a pretty big population. But I mean, this is still a slight risk, but I think the hail risk is definitely going to be it's going to be pretty widespread, so meaning that anywhere inside the slight risk and, any farther in, I think that's where you're going to see that hail risk. So, just to make sure you guys know that all the areas around these major cities, I read off the list here. Just make sure that you are following what basically I'm telling you to do, or what this map is saying. So, let me get back here. The enhanced risk for today. This is a population of 3,296,067 people. This is Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Conway, Arkansas. So pretty much all of the major cities here in Arkansas. It's your guys are getting slammed today and tomorrow, but you know, it's definitely going to be tight. But I think it's mainly going to be right here in central to south central Arkansas. Tornado threat, you got a 10% risk in this hatched area, meaning that 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. So that would be said for Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Bartlett, Tennessee. So those are basically all the major cities and areas that are included in this elevated risk for tornadoes. So that tornado threat, it's going to be a little bit higher today, but I think tomorrow that's where you're going to see that really, scary tornado threat. Wind threat today, thankfully it's only up to a 30%, even though this is considered a little high on the high side here. So your 30% goes out for Memphis, Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Conway, Arkansas. So thankfully this is a little bit smaller, but you should notice here that this does go through the border between Mississippi and Arkansas. So you just want to pay attention to that. So it's shifting a little bit farther east, that wind threat here. And then as of your hail threat, today it's higher. You have a hatched area that's bigger, and a 30% risk here for Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Conway, Arkansas, and Hot Springs, Arkansas. So, that's just, you got to make sure that you are ready for that hail. It's going to be damaging, but mainly tomorrow. Everything I'm saying is going to be mainly tomorrow. And then your significant severe, you have a population of a little bit under 2.5 million people, and those are pretty much of the same areas, although you do have South Haven, Mississippi included in that as well. So we're going to go to tomorrow. So here is where I think there's going to be the most severe weather. I think this is definitely, you can see off the charts here, you see this is a moderate risk that's already out for most of northeastern Texas and southwestern Arkansas. I'm going to say this one's mainly looking for northeastern Texas. I mean, look at this. You've got a population of over 6 million people. 2 million people. 2.5 million people. So this is a population that is very high, considering how high this area for severe weather is. So you have Shreveport, Louisiana, Mesquite, Texas. I think I'm saying that wrong. Tyler, Texas, Longview, Texas, and Bossier City, Louisiana. So, those areas are the pinpointed areas. Look at this enhanced risk too. 11, just under 11.5 million people. I mean, this is a huge area for an enhanced risk. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you almost never see an area this big for enhanced risks. Dallas, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, Texas, and Plano, Texas. I mean, that's a huge area. Tomorrow's tornado risk, you've got a hatched area already up 30. You have a 10 and 15% risk for northeastern Texas and southwestern Arkansas. And then, so in the hatched area, it's the same. You got probability of EF2 tornadoes to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. So, your wind threat, this is definitely going to be similar to the one we just got over with. I mean, look how high this 45% risk. And this is over 2.5 million people. Garland, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, Mesquite, Texas, Tyler, Texas, and Longview, Texas. I mean, this is bigger though. I mean, this is a 45% risk for wind gusts over 65 knots or greater within 25 miles of a point. That's like 70, that's like approaching, 65 knots is like approaching 75 miles an hour. Um, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, this is damaging winds. 30% risk, it's almost, I think this might be identical to uh, your enhanced risk. So, you have Dallas, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, Texas, and Plano, Texas, with a population over 11 million people. I mean, this is crazy, guys. I mean, this is what makes this so dangerous, that you have all these people under this intense risk. This hail risk too, 30% and 15%. This population is a little tiny bit further down, so this is a population of just under 7.5 million people for both your 15 and 30% risk. So this would go from northeastern Texas and southwestern to western Arkansas. So we're going to be now taking a look at this summary here from the National Weather Service. This is the forecast office for Shreveport, Louisiana. So this is today's risk. You have an enhanced risk here for Texas, Arkansas. I mean, that's a pretty nice city, but you guys are. I mean, I don't want to say should be used to it. I'm not like forcing you guys, but you should be pretty much used to this by now because there's so much severe weather in the past weeks. We're going to take a look at this. So the highest risk for today is an enhanced risk. Timing this afternoon into the overnight hours. So this is the hazard. Tornado potential. This threat's medium. So, I mean, it's not a high risk, but there is a medium potential for tornadoes. So, this is pretty much for the whole area of Shreveport. So, that's telling you it's got to be like northern Louisiana to very far down south Arkansas. I think that's where you're going to see the highest severe weather threat. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. I mean, what we saw with that hatched area, I mean, it's not lying. I mean, this is 60 miles an hour. That is very strong wind. Maximum hail size, possibly hen-egg size, 2 inches or larger across a slight area risk. So, I mean, look at this. This isn't even enhanced risk yet. This is in the slight risk, where you have a possibly even hen-sized, picture a hen's egg. Sorry about the background noises. That was my sister. She's crying. So picture a hen egg. That threat. I mean, that hail could get that big. I mean, that is going to put dents in cars. So make sure you park your car in your garage if you're living here in this, included in this slight risk. So El Dorado, make sure you guys are parking your cars inside that garage if you have one. I'm not saying that you're forced to have one, but if you have one, definitely consider doing that at least. Heavy rain, flooding, isolated, minor flooding is possible. We don't really need to get too far into those details. The severe hail risk today, there's an increased potential for large hail up to 2 inch in diameter or larger within the yellow hatched area. Northeast Texas, far northwest Louisiana, and southwest Arkansas, and southeast Oklahoma. So a big area here. Arkansas, you have, I think I'm, yeah, Texarkana. I kept saying Arkansas. This is Texarkana, that city. You guys are included in this 30% risk. So the red 30%, yellow, that. Okay. So the flood watch here, you have some flood watches that go out for Broken Bow and Hope. This would be, I believe, for Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and then we'll go to Thursday's severe weather risk. This is crazy, guys. This is moderate risk for the highest ranked. Thursday afternoon through Thursday night is your timing. Tornado potential, it's still medium. Thank God, though. Because imagine that was high. That would be crazy. Damaging winds up to 80 miles an hour. That is hurricane force winds. So, if you are in this risk and you are not sure what to do to prepare, think of preparing for a major, well, not major, but think of preparing for a Category 1 hurricane. That's basically what it's going to be like. Maximum hail size, golf ball. 1.3 of an inch of hail. That is a big hail size, but it's slightly smaller than today's. And then heavy rain and flooding, mainly along and north of the I-30 corridor. And then probably a severe probability of severe weather Thursday. This is basically your tornado, hail, and then severe wind outlook. So, that's basically the summary that I've got for you guys. But that's gonna wrap up the video, guys. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like, share, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next update, which should be probably tomorrow. I'm sorry I haven't really been uploading in a while. It's just been kind of crazy lately with so much schoolwork I've been dealing with. But I'll be trying to get more updates in for you guys. But again, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next update. See you guys.